Browns went through some 11-on-11 drills, working through, and Deshaun Watson finds Cedric Tillman here. Pretty nice play. Also this time, he's going to find Elijah Moore. Again, 11-on-11. Watson looking pretty good. Jerry Jeudy did go through individual drills for the first time this year. No 11-on-11s, though, as there he hooks up with Watson. Watson with Amari Cooper. Might have been pass interference on Emerson, but no harm, no foul. This one is for some competition. The winner of this one causes the losing group to do 20 push-ups. Watson finds David Njoku, and the defense has to do push-ups there. Let's welcome in Jeff Lloyd from the Locked On Browns podcast. Jeff, again, I know it's camp. I know it's not time to get crazy. Watson has looked pretty good so far through camp.
I did a show, a couple days ago, and one of the segments I did is "Don't be surprised if." And my thought process was, "Don't be surprised if the Browns' offense starts slow." You're going against one of the best defenses in the NFL last year. You retained almost every part of that defense. Coming back into the season for 2024, you have so much newness, new offensive coordinator, certainly some new talent on the offensive side of the ball, new positional coaches. There's a lot of newness, new offensive line coach. So I wasn't sure whether or not, there would be a lot of success early. So I think this is certainly promising to this point. That last rep, the one you talked about with the push-ups, I mean, we've seen David run that, and it's kind of like a power slant. Who covers that, though? I mean, how do you get that covered in the NFL? It is really difficult to do, because if it's a defensive back on him, your best advantage is to either try to hope you're going to slip your hand in there, or you're going to try to jar the ball loose, but you're giving up 35, 40 pounds. It's just really difficult to cover. The Cedric Tillman touchdown, I think you're starting to see the overall growth of a full wide receiver room now. You have Amari, and we all know the success he's had. Elijah Moore, obviously a nice year last year. Jerry Jeudy starting to pick it back up. First day in pads, certainly wasn't going to go in 11-11, starts to get acclimated with the pads, goes into individuals. But Tillman brings that thing that nobody else has. It's the size thing of that wide receiver. And he's working early on the underneath routes. And again, similar to what the Njoku touchdown route was. But once people starting to bite on the underneath stuff, you just send them. And that's what they got with Cedric Tillman today. So it's been nice to see the way the offense has performed to this point. Of course, we're not going to get no indication right now on the running game. You really can't pick that up in any type of training camp type of stuff. You really can't pick it up in the preseason games either, because the top shelf talent that's most likely to be participating in the regular season is not going to be involved. So there's a lot going on here right now. But yeah, I think for the most part, it's looked pretty good, and I think it's looked better than expected, at least as far as certainly I'm concerned.
Yeah, the thing that the Tillman touchdown thing screamed to me is, that's a matchup he liked, and they leaked him out. You're going to see that a lot. They're going to find, all right, when we get this guy on Tillman, or this guy on Jeudy, or this guy on Moore, we're going to take a shot. And they did it with Tillman there, and you see the results. That's when I think of Deshaun Watson in Houston with the Texans, that's what I think of.
No question about it. And, he's always been a guy that's kind of gotten everybody involved. And so that's, certainly the strength to any quarterback. I made a mention on a show that I'm going to have out here in a minute but you go back to some of the most important parts of, NFL games. It's not necessarily the quarterback hitting his top target. Because when the money's on the line, nobody's foolish. Everybody in the building knows, all right, well, so-and-so is trying to go to him here. So as a quarterback, you've got to start to make sure that you've developed these relationships, which start now in late July and certainly in early August, that when you get into a money situation, a pressure situation, that most likely your top option, your most favorite option, your most successful option, ideally is going to be taken away. So most likely it's going to be option 2. It's going to be option 3. It's going to be option 4. The more balls the Elijah Moores of the world, the Cedric Tillmans of the world can catch now in July and August certainly leads up to the opportunity for them having meaningful balls thrown their way come September, October, and November.